The next logical step was to construct data afterward. I plan to get back to you to fix you.
Next logical step.
I am not less perfect than Lore.
I am not less perfect than Lore.
Enough! Both of you, sit down.
Hello everyone, welcome back to Fully Functional, a TNG podcast. I'm Maggie, joined by Jeff and Dory.
Yup.
Jeff and I are huge Star Trek nerds, Dory's a Star Trek novice, and we are taking her on her first journey through Star Trek The Next Generation. Today we'll be discussing the Season 4 episode, Brothers. Original air date, October 6th, 1980... Nope, 1990. October 6th, 1990.
Why not both?
So we'll take it to Dory for the recap.
Okay, so we start off, there's a medical emergency on board.
Yay!
And they are on their way to Starbase 416. I could not.
Yeah.
I feel
Dude,
like there's got to be a
yes.
Toronto reference, like joke in there somewhere, but I can't.
Yeah, 100%.
Starbase the 6? No, sorry.
The
I
6?
immediately regret that. So it's like a result of a practical joke, this is fucking wild. Okay. So there's like two brothers, Jake and Willie Potts. Jake is the older one, Willie's like 9. And they're playing what I understand is like maybe laser tag or something.
Yeah, kind of.
And then like Jake's like, hey, your like gun thing is like looking realistic these days. And he went behind a tree and then like put a balloon basically full of red dye under his like clothes, and then Willie like shot him. And then all like the blood, like the fake blood came out, and Willie thought that he killed Jake. So he ran away. And when he was like hiding or like out there, whatever, he ate the fruit of a cove palm, which is like bad.
Yeah, basically he ate a poison plant.
And so now they're on their way to Starbase the 6 for medical attention, because otherwise he's gonna die. Oh yeah, we also have a very brief return of Boy Corner.
Oh yeah.
Because Picard said the boy once, but referring to, I think, Willie
Yes.
or Jake. I don't remember which one, but anyways. So here's a weird bit. Riker was talking to Jake, and basically like he's allowing the kids to stay on the Enterprise while their parents are on sabbatical. Mm-hmm. How does that make sense? Why are there extra rando kids on the Enterprise?
Because their parents are on sabbatical.
But take your fucking kids. You chose to have kids. Take them with you.
Nope.
The Enterprise is not a daycare.
Yeah.
That would, because Picard wouldn't work there if it was.
I think the kids wanted to stay because he's like, what's the conditions of like me letting you stay here? So I think that's what it is.
But then like who's taking care of the kids? Like these are children.
I'm sure someone is.
But like that's like that just seems like an incredibly risky and poor decision on the parents' part.
Oh, it definitely
because
is.
What the kids are on the ship when the fucking Borg shit happened, then the parents are like, you just like let your kids stay on a fucking military vessel while you were off sabbaticaling, whatever the fuck that is in this case. So like this just seems like very bad parenting.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not a parent, but this just seems like a real poor decision. Like if you have kids, I don't think both you and your spouse can go on a sabbatical at the same time and just leave the military in charge of your minor children.
Yeah.
Like that doesn't seem
Probably not the best idea.
Yeah. Like you had kids, take care of your kids.
Yeah.
Anyways, so then like Data is taking Jake somewhere. I don't remember. We just watched this episode and I don't remember.
To where his younger brother is, like the quarantine thing.
Okay. But then, like, partway on the lift, like, Data all of a sudden starts, like, twitching and just, like, leaves Jake in the lift and goes to the bridge and just fully, like, commandeers the ship to go to a completely different location. And everybody's like, the fuck? And then, oh no, the, like, air shortage is happening, so everybody best leave. Everybody must evacuate. And then, but Data stays because he doesn't need air. And then he basically, like, locks everybody out of the bridge and then is like, hey, guess what, everyone? Disguises, does, like, Picard's voice. So he only gets, like, clearance of shit because, like, you can only do stuff from the main bridge. And then Picard and Riker are like, oh, shit, we need to figure out what's going on. And then, like, maybe... And Picard's like, hey, Riker, Worf, maybe, like, try to get a deck too and see what's going on. And then they were like, prepare for saucer separation. And then, because I'm taking it personally, they're like, fuck you, never mind, it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
So thanks for that, I guess. Oh, Data activates, like, a force field, so, like, nobody can get onto the bridge. Dr. C is with Willie, and Willie's, like, bummed over this prank, and honestly fair, because I don't like pranks, so fuck Jake. Sorry, I know he's a kid, but, like, I don't like pranks, so I do not feel bad for Jake. Willie is 9. You fucking traumatized that child, and now he's very sick and can die because you were like, I think I'm gonna get back at a 9-year-old.
Yeah.
I mean, I know Jake's a child too, but, like, still.
Jake's also the dumbass that ate the plant.
What? No, Willie ate the plant.
Oh, Willie. Sorry. Yeah. He's the little dumbass that ate it.
Yeah. But, yeah, I don't care about these two kids. Sorry, but...
That's fair.
I mean, I guess I understand they're just trying to throw in every brother combination in this, but meh, whatever. Yeah, Dr. C is also like, hey, maybe you should forgive your brother for pulling this absolutely disgusting prank on you. That's super chill. So then Data wants to transport to certain coordinates, but, like, O'Brien is deactivated shit or whatever. And then he's like, okay, so then I guess I'm manually just going to fucking walk to the transporter room, and can I, like, have a moving force field bubble, I guess.
Something that will never be used again.
Yeah.
It's just too bad because it's kind of genius.
Yeah.
So then, like, they set up security because they realized that's, like, Data's only option is to walk to the transporter rooms. So they set up security all over the place. And people, like, try to stop Data, but they go flying, and then Worf gets also pushed back, and then Data enters the transporter room, and there's O'Brien, Riker, and some guy on the platform, and Data just starts, like, playing around with the different color, like, tabs or whatever, so then he can transport anyways, and he goes down to this planet. And surprise, it's an old man who I wrote with gross old robe, who actually looks like Miracle Max from The Princess Bride, like Billy Crystal's character. But this version is like he's melted a little bit.
Do you know who's playing him?
I don't, because I looked up on IMDb and it wouldn't tell me.
Oh, so it's an actor named, you may have heard him before. His name is Brent Spiner. He also plays Data and Lore in the same scene.
That was Brett Spiner?
Yep.
Yeah.
Holy shit. Wow. Wow. No wonder. I was like, why isn't he in the, like,
Credits?
IMDb? Because,
yeah.
no, not credits, IMDb. Because I was like, why? Because, like, that was a major part. Like, how could he not be listed?
To be fair, the way they did the makeup, I don't think was particularly successful. Some parts of it look good, but mostly it doesn't really land. And when he does the whole oh, do I look familiar thing, because, like, the audience can't even fucking recognize him, like, that doesn't land unless you know who it is.
Okay, well, here's the thing. When he said, does that look familiar? I was like, is this Lore? Did Lore just get old somehow? So, like, but it never occurred to me it was, like, Brett Spiner as Dr. Soong. I just thought, like, is this Lore?
That's fair.
But then when he's like, oh, it's Dr. Soon, then I was like, oh, then it can't be Brett Spiner. Then it's probably not him. So, wow, plot twists all around. Good job. He was great. Like, Brett Spiner was amazing this episode.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
He was so freaking good.
Apparently what he had to do was he had to do one day of doing all of the shots as Dr. Soong, and then the next day do all of his shots as Data and Lore. And it was really confusing for him because he was like, well, I'm playing characters that I haven't responded to the dialogue to yet, so I kind of have to remember exactly the way that I was delivering things yesterday, because this is the age before we had everything on video and could just replay it seconds after looking at it. Yeah.
So okay, so it's Dr. Soong. He's alive. Gasp for reasons. And okay, so then on the ship, they're like, okay, well, we need to like be able to get back to the bridge, so maybe we divert some of the energy from the medical bay, like force fields or whatever, to get Picard to the bridge. And Dr. C tells Willie that, like, you know, Jake feels really bad. He feels really guilty for this shit, but like Willie doesn't give a fuck, rightfully so. I'm Team Willie in this case, even though he was stupid and ate some random fruit.
They're both
Kids,
annoying
don't eat
kids.
Fruit. Don't eat fruit. Just like, why risk it? No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Fruit is great. Just don't eat like random fruit. Eat fruit that you know where it's coming from. Oh yeah. So like the crew has like no idea where the fuck they are. They only know that like they've stopped from like warp because they looked out the window. But then they can scan and they see that there's like a single life form detected on the planet. And then a small vessel entering orbit. No life forms aboard. I did not even think for 1 second about that could be Lore. And it wasn't until I finished the episode that I was like, oh, that was Lore. I just forgot about it completely. I was like, when it happened, I was like, oh, where are they going with this? Who could be on the shuttle? And then completely forgot. And then it's like, oh, that was probably Lore. Okay, so now back on the Dr. Soong's lab, whatever, we'll call it a man cave. I don't know. It's like a mess. So he's having Data pat his head, rub his stomach, and then like off-key whistling to Pop Goes the Weasel, as one does. And then Dr. Soong is like pretty offended that Data like chose to join Starfleet instead of taking after him and becoming a cyberneticist. Like, bro, you left Data. So like let him, he made his own choices. You don't get to be upset about that. You didn't like stay and raise him. You just like pieced out, I guess.
That's a fair point.
Yeah. And so then they go in this really long-winded, I wrote it down, but I don't know why, of like Data's like, why did you create me? And then it's honestly so pointless. This like explanation is so long. And it's just like, he basically wanted to. It's his fucking legacy. He wanted a thing so he doesn't die. I don't know. Fuck, it doesn't matter. It's like, it's a non-answer. And then but Dr. Soong's response question to Data's question is, why do humans like old shit? And it's like, because old shit is cool. Well, not you though, because you're... Anyways, I don't know. It was a very long, convoluted conversation. I'm angry I wrote it down. And I'm not going to read it. And then, okay, so then Lore appears. Oh, first we see a shoe, a leather boot. And then it's like, surprise, it's Lore. And he's in a turtleneck, a quilted vest, and brown leather boots. And Lore has...
He definitely stole one of Wesley's sweaters, for
no,
sure.
he's actually dressed like the Packleds that he said are the ones who picked him up.
Oh.
Yeah,
I
that's
do
a
not remember
Packled
the
uniform.
Packleds.
I did not
that's
realize
nice.
that.
I know, a little bit of continuity there, which is not even important continuity because the Packleds are a really boring species.
Yeah. So like Lore's real salty because he was like floating in space for 2 years. Well, too bad, so sad. Lore, like, you deserve it. So apparently, like, both Data and Lore's brains contain homing devices. Data's was activated on purpose, but then like Dr. Soong didn't even know like Lore had been reassembled, so he was like, oh, surprise, it's Lore. So, oh yeah, Dr. Soong reveals that he's dying from what? Your guess is as good as ours. He's dying from plot disease.
Yeah.
Lore is absolutely shook to his core to learn that Dr. Soong is dying. So back on the Enterprise, they're like, oh, Willie has 24 to 36 hours to die. Oh, to die. Oh my God. No, before, until he dies.
You better die before we get there.
They need to get him to the starbase, the 6. I regret it every time I say it that way.
Good.
But I can't help it now. So yeah, they have 24 to 36 hours before Willie dies, and they're like, what if we trick the computer into thinking 3 different people are Data? Okay, I don't quite get it, but you know what? I'm here to roll with it.
Yeah.
Fine. Let the computer think that Riker, Worf, and Geordi, they're Data. Bring them to the planet. That's cool. That's fine. Then Data is like... So Data's trying to tell Dr. Soong that, like, Laura's actually a piece of shit. But, like, Dr. Soong is like, no. This is very, like, excuses for, like, that are, like, useless.
He's very much blinded by the love of his quote-unquote son.
Children. So Data says, though, Lore also told me that the colonists petitioned you to replace him with a less perfect android. I thought that's so funny. What kind of lie is that, Lore?
That's literally something Lore said in the first episode that he was in.
I don't think I remember, but, like, I just think that's such a funny thing to lie about. Like, oh, no, you're too perfect. We need someone that's a little less perfect. That's just very funny to me. And so, okay, but the reason that Data is there is that Dr. Soong has created a little, like, microchip thing for Data that gives him basic emotions. Lore feels a lot about this as well. Lore feels pretty shafted because he was like, you, like, took me apart and just, like, left me there to, like, be with, to, like, put your time and effort into Data. And Dr. Song's like, yeah, I guess. But also, he's, like, super tired, and even though it's a super easy, simple procedure, he's gonna take a nap. And of course, during that nap time, the biggest plot twist nobody could have seen coming, Lore somehow manages to knock out Data and they do a switcheroo. They parent trap Dr. Soong.
Oh my God.
I mean, who saw that coming?
Yeah,
oh
seriously.
God, not me, that's for sure. So Dr. Soong is, like, putting the microchip in Lore's head, and then he's like, how do you feel? And Lore sings some song, and he's
Well, he
like,
thinks it's Data.
yeah. Even in my notes, I was like, Lore/Data ? Sings a song. And then he says, thank you, Father, in, like, a weird voice. And that should have been, like, the dead giveaway to Dr. Soong, but no, that's somehow not it, because, like,
I mean,
that's
I knew
weird.
as soon as he started singing.
Oh, yeah. And then he said, it was also, like, Data sang off tune earlier. Mm-hmm. So the fact that he was, I mean, I don't know the song, so I don't actually know if it's in tune. It just didn't sound as bad as, like, Data's whistling earlier.
Yeah, the whistling was a callback to the pilot when Riker comes in on Data in the holodeck and he's trying to whistle.
Oh, in the forest stuff?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So then Dr. Soong's like, oh, you called me Father. And then Lore's like, oh, what should I have called you? Often Wrong? And he's like, what? And he's like, Often Wrong Soong. And, like, that doesn't even, that's, what? That's not a good nickname. I mean, Lore says it's not a good nickname. It doesn't rhyme, but just, why, dear writers of this particular episode, why would you... Did somebody find that funny when you guys were writing? Because that's, like, makes me angry that you thought that was, like, something to put in this, that his nickname would have been Often Wrong Soong.
It's from the episode Lore was in before.
Yep.
That's when they came up with it.
I don't like it.
Yeah,
I don't
it's
like
terrible.
it. It's not funny. It's stupid. So then I wrote, what a surprise. It's Lore. Oh, there was very dramatic music, though. That I don't really remember the music that much in the show, but I did remember the music from there. It was very suspenseful and gasp and plot twist. Oh yeah, so like the chip was made specifically for Data. So then Lore's like has like a whole twitch, and he's like, I don't know what exactly it's doing, but it's doing something. And then Lore throws Dr. Soong around the room, and then he opens his fingernail, and I was just like, nope, put it away. Put it away. But then like Lore leaves, and I was like, oh, so they're gonna like go after him or something? No. I guess like we'll see Lore again at some point, because he's just pieced out, called it a day, and just boy.
Yeah.
So then Riker and Worf and Geordi come down, and they find the house really quickly. Worf brings out Data in like a bridal carry, and it's so cute. And then Riker goes over and like basically turns Data back on, I guess. And Data's in Lore's turtleneck outfit, and he goes over to see Dr. Soong, who is of course dying. He was already dying, but he's dying more now because he got flown across the room. And he asks to like say goodbye, and and they're like, oh, we could take you to the Enterprise, and Dr. Soong's like, no, I'm good, I'm ready to like die here amongst my shit, my garbage. Yeah. Oh, also Dr. Soong touched Data's face twice this episode, and it was weird. It was like a hand like pat, but like awkward. Oh yeah, Willie is gonna be fine, whatever, him and Jake are friends again. Dr. Soong is dead. And, you know, brothers forgive. Thanks, Dr. C. And I just wrote, not sure that applies in, like, this situation. But, like, I guess we'll see Lore again at some point. So, meh. I don't know. This is not my favorite episode.
No, this episode has a lot of problems, not the least of which is the fact that Data is the protagonist and yet not the driving force of the drama for most of the episode.
Yeah. The thing is like, it takes so long to actually just get to Dr. Soong.
Yes.
Like,
Yeah.
even though, like, him taking over the ship and all that stuff was interesting, it just, to be honest, it's just, like, kind of a waste of time.
Yes, it is.
It's also really anticlimactic because he's not having Data like go there because, he like wants something from the Enterprise. He just wants to give Data a like emotion chip. He has no like his kind of his selfishness of like being
and
like, I need to
also announced to him that he's dying.
Yeah. It's like, just want you to know I'm dying. It's like, okay, do you want help with anything? Nope, just wanted you to know I'm dying. Great, thanks, guy.
Well,
like, that's not...
Well, him giving Data the emotion chip is, like, a big deal. That's, like, he wants to give a gift to Data.
No, I know, but it just feels like, like the things that he did to, like, get Data there, it puts so many people in danger for something that, like, grand scheme... Like, for Data, that's huge. But for grand scheme, that's, like, pretty fucking messed up. That he had Data commandeer the ship like this. Instead of just being like, hey, like, can you borrow a shuttle? He fucking, like, hijacked the Enterprise.
Yeah, I don't know why he did it, why he had to do it, like, with so much, like, subterfuge and stuff.
So the episode would be exciting.
Well, I mean, I didn't find it exciting. I just was like, what the fuck is Data doing? Because, and also, if anything, all this makes me think about is, like, are they going to try to find another way to, like, deactivate Data as, like, a precaution? It's like, okay, I've been watching a lot of Smallville. I mentioned this in another episode, but one of the things that they did was, like, have, at one point, like, kryptonite like stashes around the United States in case like
Superman goes crazy.
Well, Clark, but also there was like the Kandorians who were there at the time, so that was like Zod and friends, and like in case they like start some shit. I mean, they did start shit, but they didn't need to use it anyways. But it's like, because Data is pretty indestructible, so like this could have been like, if it wasn't Dr. Soong to just be like, hey, here's the chip, like, what the, like, Data went fucking rogue and nobody could stop him. Like, everything happened exactly the way Data wanted it to. Well, not Data, Soong wanted it to. Like, I don't blame Data for any of this, but like, it makes me wonder if like something in the back of their head, because they jumped to it so quickly when like Lore took over for Data, of like a fail-safe, because this has now happened a few times. And, like, that fucking sucks because none of this is Data's fault. But now, like, is the ship going to try to find ways to, like, take Data down if necessary?
That is a good question.
Yeah.
Because that really sucks, because none of this is Data's fault, but it's like other people have done this and put him in this shitty position. So
Yeah, that's
like,
really fucked.
I can understand.
It was his creator that did that, so it's like, is there an
it's
assumption
still
that
not...
Lore can do this too? I don't really know
well,
why.
Well, Lore took him, like, switched him in Data. Remember, like, back in Data Lore, right? So, like...
Yeah, but do they have ways around that now?
I don't know, but I mean, it's been a few years, so maybe they've come up with something.
Yeah, I would say so.
I still think they should put permanent markers somewhere on Data.
Lore just needs a beard. That's it.
Yeah.
Well, what about, why can't Data have his, like, what is it, like, his, Data grew a beard at one point. That was a distinguished beard or something like that. I don't remember the line.
Yeah, but they need a non-distinguished beard. They need, like, a goatee beard.
Ew, gross, hard pass. No. But also, would they have somebody else with a beard? Because, like, Riker's beard is pretty, like, he's got the beard demographic in the show. Do we need more beards?
No, it would be
I don't
Lore
know.
that had the beard.
Oh, Lore has the beard.
Yeah, and it would be the evil beard.
Yeah, but here's the problem. The beard is also something he can shave off. So
No.
then, like...
No,
Jeff,
he can't.
She's not familiar with mirror universe stuff. She doesn't know what the fuck you're talking about.
No, it's annoying because, like, it's transcended Star Trek so many times.
Basically, okay, so in the original series, they have a mirror universe, and in the mirror universe, Spock has a goatee. So, ever since then, it's like the evil version of you has a goatee, is kind of like the joke.
Okay. Now, jokes on Community are making more sense to me now. Because there's the whole, like, Abed has the darkest timeline, and he makes these, like, paper goatees for everyone, and he passes it out, and he's like, we're in the darkest timeline, everybody has to wear a goatee now.
Yeah.
That's making a lot more sense.
Okay, that's fair. They did it in Futurama, too. Did you ever see that?
I've seen, like, a few episodes of Futurama here and there.
Okay, so Bender has a quote-unquote evil brother named Flexo, who is exactly the same as Bender in every way, except he has a magnetic goatee on him. But Bender's the evil brother, so...
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they should give Data a tattoo.
Yeah.
I think they need to do
They
some
just
kind
need
of,
something
like...
to separate them, you know?
Yeah. But in general, though, like, I mean, God, I feel bad for Data.
Give Data, like, a mole or something.
Yeah, I can tell. Give him, like, the Marilyn Monroe one on his face.
Yeah. Or at least, like, a secret handshake or something.
Oh, yeah.
That's not a bad idea.
Yeah.
Do the one from the Parent Trap, Data. That one's, like, complicated. They, like, switch places, I think, at one point. I don't know it. I just vaguely remember it from the movie a billion years ago. Anyways. Yeah, so I just, like, worry about, like, if they create fail-safes and shit for Data in the future, so in case he goes rogue, because, again, not his fault, but, like, this could have had, like, crazy bad consequences.
Mm-hmm.
Because, like, yeah, he just, like, needed Data get his basic emotion chip, but it's like, yeah, all of that happened, and fucking look what, and it was useless because he gave it to Lore.
Yeah.
So all that, Willie could have died. He could have died in 24 to 36 hours. Well, I hope we never see those children again.
And you won't.
Yeah.
Good.
We don't.
Until the next time.
Oh, God.
I'm kidding. There was a part in this that I actually found really amusing, and I had never noticed it before, probably because I never really watched the episode in HD before. But why is brilliant cyberneticist Dr. Noonien Soong playing with dinosaur toys?
You know, he gets bored. He needs something to do.
Everyone needs their, like, relaxing time.
I suppose. It was just a very strange choice.
Yeah.
I'm surprised he didn't have weirder shit there, because there's just, like,
That's true.
so much junk in that place.
He also did not seem to have a computer,
Oh.
which seems weird.
No, that makes perfect sense. You see, computers in Star Trek don't look anything like computers. They look like lights on a wall. which he did have.
True.
Or they look like graphics that are behind them that turn out to be a touchscreen, but only if they designed the prop to be that way.
Honestly, I don't really have much to say about this episode.
No, the episode is unfortunately important.
Yeah.
Which is too bad because it really isn't well crafted. It kind of loses focus partway through, and you're more interested in it because of what Data is going to learn about himself than you are for anything that's actually going on in terms of the plot. And everything that you really learn about Data is in that nice big conversation between him and Dr. Soong, where Dr. Soong is playing with his toys.
I feel like
No,
the
sir, I
episode-
didn't see you playing with your dolls again.
I feel like this episode does more to develop lore than it does Data.
That's true, actually. That's a good point.
Like that stuff I kind of liked was getting
Lore
to know
getting unhinged.
yeah, getting to know Lore a bit more, like his jealousy of Data and like how he does actually care for Dr. Soong because he's like whatever, I'm out, but then he's like, I'm dying, and he's like, what? He's like so concerned.
Meanwhile, he's the one practically causing his death towards the end. But I mean, that's the
Yeah.
whole point about his character, that he is completely unstable and like different from one moment to the next in terms, like he's inconsistent about those emotions because they've overwhelmed him.
Yeah, I mean, Brent Spiner was amazing as Lore in this. Like,
Yeah.
Lore
Yes.
truly felt unhinged. I'll let you know what's funny, though. All I was thinking about when Lore was talking, it was like, oh, look at him saying, like, I've.
Yeah, because like one of the first things he says, like when he wakes up from the procedure or whatever, is like he says, "Isn't it?" And I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
it's fucking Lore.
Yeah.
Though, to be fair, the argument could be made that the emotion chip would change that.
True. Do we need emotions to say contractions? Is that
Look, I'm not going to stand up for Star Trek's decision for him not to say contractions because it doesn't actually make any sense to begin with.
yeah?
Like, you can make a computer nowadays swear at you. So, like,
Yeah.
come on.
I mean, the fact that Data doesn't sound like Siri, it's like, okay, you could make him say contractions.
Yeah, easily.
Because, like, I went down, like, sort of a YouTube rabbit hole where I was watching all these videos about how to speak English like a native English speaker, like American English. And, like,
Okay.
breaking down, like, the way we say stuff and, like, how, like, the mechanics about how we talk so fast and like, how, like, the pronunciations of words are often, like, taught incorrectly. Like, there's the official pronunciation, but then there's the way we actually say stuff.
Yeah, because we slur
Ooh.
things.
Yeah, we slur things, and what else? Oh yeah, it's about, like, the stress that we put on words, like whether we stress certain words or we don't. And I sort of realized throughout, because the teacher, she'd give examples of sentences where every single word was stressed, and she sounded exactly like fucking Siri.
Oh.
So
Okay.
it kind of like gave me this insight to like, oh, that's why she sounds that way, because she's just like, they're literally just taking, I mean, duh, but they're literally just taking words and putting them together, and there's no actual, like, consideration to the sentence as a whole.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because, like, we say sentences differently depending on context and what we're trying to convey, and, like, what words actually build up the sentence.
Yes.
That's really neat. I never thought about that.
Yeah.
The way that we communicate is a lot more nuanced than we'd like to believe.
She has one video, like the video breaking down how Americans talk so fast. She uses a scene from
Is it
Friends.
due to Aaron Sorkin?
No. She uses a scene from Friends of, like, Rachel gossiping. It's very funny.
Oh.
I was going to say, it's Friends, so it can't be that funny. Whoa!
Well, the analysis is funny, not...
Not the show.
Well, I guess, unless anyone has anything else, Maybe we should just move on to favorite moments and stuff.
Yeah, the
Sure.
episode feels like dead air. Also, our episode feels like dead air because of it. Hey, get it? Because I was making fun of the episode that we just watched.
Yeah.
I'm very funny.
Thanks.
Yeah. Except the whole reason I edit episodes is to get rid of the dead air.
Oh, actually, there is one more thing I wanted to point out that I found fairly annoying. Because there was a big thing about how the logical next step that Dr. Soong had to do was go and create data. And Lore took a lot of offense to that, despite the fact that Dr. Soong said, like, 5 seconds before that the two of them are virtually identical except for a bit of programming. And it's like, yeah, so delete his programming and rewrite it.
Yeah.
I do realize this is like 1990 that this came out. The average person's understanding of programming is nowhere near what it is now. So I get that they probably thought, shit, we got to make a whole new one, because this is the time in our lives when, like, every 6 months a new computer that was twice as fast as the last one would come out. So I get it, but at the same time, I hate the fact that that is completely inconsistent with what we know about technology nowadays.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like, no, you didn't have to build a whole new robot. You could have just reprogrammed Lore.
Yes.
With that, let's get to favorite moments.
I don't think I have any.
Oh, I totally
know.
fucking have one. Okay, so there's a part where it's still in the first 15-minute part of the episode, or the action, and Data is blocking them out from getting on the bridge, and the three of them, I think it's Worf, Riker, and someone else, have just climbed up a Jeffries tube, and they're trying to get into the bridge, like through the top of the what do you call it? One of the turbolift shafts. And there's a shot of them like climbing up and discussing what their next plan of attack is, and then it goes to Data, who discovers that they're there and does something to thwart them. And the next shot is their dialogue in response to this, including a sound effect of the force field going up that prevents them from going any further. But for some reason, I guess, like, this had to be a pickup shot, or something was wrong with the original, or something. I don't know. But for some reason, the shot is just a completely, like, no human at all in this shot.
It's just
still
like up,
frame.
right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
of looking
Yeah.
up the elevator shaft and their dialogue off screen, and I just found that really comedic, and I don't know why.
Yeah, I noticed that too. That really stood out. That, like,
Yeah.
oh, they're like off camera for this whole conversation.
Yeah, that was a very strange decision.
I don't have anything that was like favorite, but I do like the whole part of the episode of Data taking over the ship and, like, you know, them trying stuff and then Data thwarting it, and, like, you know, the back and forth. I thought it was like clever, like the things that they did.
Yeah, it just didn't
Yeah.
go
Yeah.
anywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, if it was like, if there were, the stakes were higher, if it was for some kind of like more nefarious things, I think it would have been way more interesting. But once you realize what it was, it kind of like, okay, that seemed like a waste.
Yeah, they tried to raise the stakes by making this child sick.
Yeah, but like this kid didn't seem like, I don't know, for this, if you want us to feel sympathy towards the kid, make them like seem like they're sick. This kid was like fine. This kid was like chatting with Dr. C, and so it didn't feel like the kid was like really sick.
Yeah.
It just was like, yeah, no, this kid's just like fine, I guess. He's lying down. Oh no, now he's in like a room
Yeah,
with a window.
we didn't really get to see, like, how dire
Yeah.
the situation was.
Yeah. I'm just looking through my notes, and okay, maybe the one thing, I don't know if I can necessarily say favorite, but I did get like a chuckle when, like, Lore, the chip is like in his head and he starts like twitching, and he's like, I don't know exactly what what it's doing, but it's doing something. And he's like twitching and stuff because the chip is doing something in his head.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes.
I like the delivery of that. You know what my favorite part? Brett Spiner.
Yeah.
His acting in this whole episode was really good. That's my favorite part.
Yeah. I feel like Brett Spiner always does a good job with playing multiple characters.
Yep.
Like, whenever Lore's in an episode, sometimes I forget, like, oh, it's the same guy. Like, literally the same guy playing it. Yeah, I suppose that's, I feel like that's probably all we're going to get out of this episode, honestly.
I think so, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a bit disappointing because I feel like there was potential there. But it just was like, They kind of...
Yeah.
I don't think they explored the Dr. Soon stuff enough. Alright, so predictions for the next episode. The next episode is called Suddenly Human. Your tidbit is that the Enterprise rescues a teenage boy who's been raised by a different culture.
Oh, is this a Tarzan situation?
It's up to you.
I feel like that question's going to come back to bite me in the ass later.
Like a culture outside of the collection of human cultures.
Okay. Is he human or he's
Yes,
just like...
he's human.
Okay.
And he was raised by non-humans.
Okay, it is a Tarzan situation. Cool, party. I'm assuming this episode doesn't have as good a soundtrack, though, so that's a shame, but, you know, you can't win them all. I just do what I did for, like, the Tin Man episode and just say, it's Tarzan, the episode. He meets Jane and her dad, and they teach him to be human. But in this case, it would be... No, I don't like that. No. Maybe... Okay, I'm going different direction. Okay, so maybe this guy wants to join Starfleet, which is why he is being he's getting picked up by the Enterprise, and he needs to go to, like, I don't know, maybe they have like different requirements of schooling and it's not available on the planet that he originally is on, and the Enterprise has to take him there, but he's still used to the same kind. I am going full Tarzan. What am I talking about? Wait, no, Tarzan doesn't go to school. What am I talking about? I'm losing the plot. I'm losing my plot and apparently Tarzan's plot.
Yeah. So I don't know if you remember, but I said that the Enterprise rescues him.
Oh, rescues him.
Yeah.
Oh boy, okay. All right, so it's not Tarzan because Tarzan didn't need to be rescued. Oh, to be fair, he wasn't rescued. Anyways, oh my god. It's not Tarzan. Okay, so maybe he was kidnapped and raised in this non-human society, and they finally have figured, like, his parents maybe have finally figured out where he went to, and maybe they're like Starfleet officers or something, and they were like, oh, Enterprise, if you're gonna be over there, can you just, like, bring our son back and be reunited? I feel like there's a plot like that of another movie.
I mean, I feel like that's not like... I feel like that's been a plot of a lot of things.
Yeah. All right. I guess I'm just going with kidnapped child. His parents want him back.
Okay.
I feel like there was this plot, but it was involving a serial killer or something.
Probably.
You know what? It might have been a plot on CSI that I'm thinking of. It is. I'm just remembering.
Yeah.
I think it's season 1 or 2. There was a little girl who was, like, kidnapped, and she was like, oh god, it's a whole thing. But she also had, like, some mental health issues. But anyways, wow, I'm going real off track. Yeah, so I'm gonna go with he was kidnapped. He's been on, like, maybe like a whatever America's Most Wanted is, but for missing children. Whatever the current time thing of like children on cartons, milk cartons or whatever. And this kid happens to like, hey, wait, this person is like, he like matches the identity or like DNA or something. So he's the one that's like been missing and kidnapped. And then they, I don't know, maybe somebody tries to explain it to him, but then he's like, oh shit, that's like bad. I knew this was like not it. And then, they have to make like a quick exit. Mm-hmm. And yeah, then he's returned to his family. This is a shit show of a prediction. This is probably one of my messier predictions.
No problem,
yeah,
dude.
I guess that's it.
Alrighty, if you'd like to see if Dory's correct, watch along with us.
I won't be.
Watch along with us and join us for the next episode of Fully Functional, a TNG podcast.
Goodbye.